Hello everyone, hi guys, I'm doing two. I'm doing two. Welcome back to my video session. Today I'm going to be speaking about the Nintendo Switch 2 4K resolution. Okay. Now, a lot of people don't understand about the 4K resolution, the way I'm looking at it, yeah? So I've been looking into this 4K technology quite a lot, and I know quite enough about how 4K works. Maybe people who don't even know what 4K is probably never even used 4K on a PC. Yeah, because PC has video cards in 4K. Yeah, that's Nintendo Wii U if you want. Yeah, and the thing about that is that you need to understand if this Nintendo Switch 2 is working 4K resolution. Yeah. Now you need to understand the Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't even have a powerful GPU. So how the heck is it handling 4K? Is it really even 4K? You can say a lot of things about that in a different way. You see, there are two types of 4K. Yeah. One is a native and upscaling. You probably heard a lot of things about upscaling, but how much do you know about the upscaling thing? How good is it? Is it really that good when we compare it to the native one? That's what I'm going to be discussing here and giving you information about 4K resolution, how it works for native and upscaling. You know, it's all the information that you need to know about what is this Nintendo company talking about. They've done this before with Nintendo Wii U as well. They are a ridiculous company, honestly. Do they know what the heck they're on about, really? Because it seems to me they are making a fool out of the customers. Yeah. You should not be releasing something which you don't even know anything about. This company knows that they made a lot of money out of Nintendo Switch. Now they're going to be like, they want to make even more money out of the Nintendo Switch 2. So they're going to flipping put a 4K resolution in this damn thing. Okay, 4K resolution is great, but there are many levels of 4K, okay? Just saying that a Nintendo Switch 2 is 4K doesn't mean it's great. No, it doesn't. That's absolutely ridiculous. Right, let's go more fun about this, yeah? Now, obviously the GPU isn't powerful enough. They are going for a thing called upscaling. Yeah. The GPU for Nintendo Switch 2. Maybe you guys already know about that. But what's so exciting about that? Why did people pre-order this thing? And so many people went running for it. I mean, the customers are quite silly, really. Because there's nothing special about this console. I'll tell you that something right now. Keep on listening what I'm trying to say here. Yeah? Did you guys know? I don't know many people have even mentioned this, man. They keep on about Mario Kart World, Mario Kart World, Mario Kart World's not that, and this and that. Forget about the Mario Kart World, forget about the Nintendo games, forget about the third-party games. Who cares about these games, man? You need to know what's going on with this Nintendo Switch 2 console first. Is it even worth buying? I'll tell you right now, the way I'm looking at it, it's not worth it. It's too expensive for what it is. It's too expensive. You rather spend that money on something else rather buying this Nintendo Switch 2. If you keep on listening to me, I think you'll understand. Now, Nintendo Switch 2 is equivalent to NVIDIA RTX 3050. If you go on the internet, read about this PC video card. This video card is not even recommended for 4K. But the Nintendo Switch 2 GPU is equivalent to this RTX 3050. Can the RTX 3050 do 4K? Yes, of course it can. But did you know what they say about the RTX 3050? It's upscaling. Yeah, it's gonna. You have to upscale. You have to use upscaling in it to do 4K in it. If you want to play games natively on the NVIDIA RTX 3050, you cannot play. You can't play new games. You're gonna be going on old games again. Okay, you keep on listening to what I'm saying. Old games, not new ones. But when you're upscaling them, then you can do 4K. This is getting really, really boring, man. This is so boring how the 4K works on this silly console. It's bloody boring. The NVIDIA RTX 3050 is a flipping old card, man. It's bloody equivalent to that. Whoa. What year? I mean, you know what? We had, look how many cards we got after this. RTX 3060, 3070, 3080, 3090. Flipping hell. Then it goes up to 40 series. Then 4060, 4070, 4080, 4090. These are really powerful cards now. 40 series cards are really powerful. And then NVIDIA has even reached 50 series cards. But all of these cards are doing all 4K. But the higher the card, when it goes into like 30, 40, 50 series, they're getting a really powerful native 4K high frame rates, man. What the heck is this Nintendo Switch 2? It's a flipping just upscaling and it's equivalent to RTX 3050. That's bloody old card, man. With this console released in 5th June 2025 and it's equivalent to RTX 3050. That's a flipping old video card, man. Man, buzz up Nintendo, you're flipping stupid or what? And all these customers are following that same trend. They don't know what they're doing. They look bloody confused. They don't know what they're doing when the Nintendo Wii U is out. Yeah? They don't buy it properly. Very few sales come from the Nintendo Wii U. Then you go and buy this dumb Nintendo Switch, the Wii U and Nintendo Switch 1. And now, this company thinks the Nintendo Switch 2 will sell. Oh, blimey. Yeah, it's gonna sell because Nintendo Switch was successful, wasn't it? Now these people are so excited. It's quite powerful. It's much more powerful than Nintendo Switch. It's got a 4K resolution. Blah, 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 whatever. Okay, let's carry on, yeah. Now even the PC can't do native 4K with the RTX 3050. Yeah, because it's not meant to do that. I mean, the first card in the 30 series which is recommended for 4K is the NVIDIA RTX 3070. Yeah. Now, I want to point out something else as well. When we look at NVIDIA, the Sony PlayStation 5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X, what are they equivalent to? NVIDIA RTX 3060. These consoles can't do native 4K either. They are doing upscaling, alright? They're doing upscaling. This is not making no sense whatsoever. Okay? It's just they're all the bloody same. All it is, their resolution, frame rates, it's a bit more advanced on PS5, Xbox Series X. But it's not 84K, still. You need to go on RTX 3070 to have native 4K games, yeah? You can't do it before that. 3050, 3060, both, all of these three consoles are just gimmicks. Okay? So I have to say that right now. We need to understand the real story behind this 4K. 4K is not easy to do, man. Consoles can't do it, man. That's a joke. But right now, the consoles we got, they can't do it. They can't really even do it. Now, remember the next one from Sony, Microsoft probably can do it. Yeah, but how many years is it? Oh my god. We got these consoles from November 2020. And then now these two companies, Sony and Microsoft, trying to release a console in 2027. That's flipping 7 years later. The NVIDIA RTX 3070 is released long time ago, man. I mean, the PC had 4K, native 4K long time ago now, that means. Isn't it, really? They had it a long time ago. These consoles still haven't got it. Ridiculous. So, if the PC can't do native 4K, that's the same result on the Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, there you go. Let's go further. What is native 4K? What is it? So, we need to understand what is native 4K. You see, native 4K is superior to upscaling. In what ways, though? Yeah. You see, the upscaling can't add detail. It has less sharpness. And it doesn't have a clear picture like the original native 4K, you see. That's what native 4K is. Okay? Now let's go further. So what is upscaling then? You see, the upscaling, this is where it gets interesting. This is where the NVIDIA RTX 3050 comes and the current console Nintendo Switch 2. This is what they're doing. Now listen up. The upscaling uses low resolution. Yes, it uses low resolution. Like 1080p. So what's going to happen here? Natively, if you look at these games, they will run in 1080p only. That's it. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to do anything else. Okay? So, they can fit it in a 4K display. Okay? Upscaling does that. Understand? Upscaling is a low resolution. It will be in 1080p and will fit on a 4K display. Okay? So what it will do, basically, from 1080p, yeah, it will go up to 4K. That's how it does 4K. Now do you understand? If you got anything, something like NVIDIA RTX 3050 and the Nintendo Switch 2, it will do from 1080p to 4K. it's doing upscaling, you see. He upscales it. It's not really 4K really, is it? It's a low resolution. So the low resolution won't have much detail, sharpness, and picture quality. You won't have that picture quality, okay, at all. Even you upscale it, you still won't have that. Nope, you won't have it. You won't get the three things. I'll repeat that again. You won't get these three things even you upscale from 1080p to 4K. That is the detail, sharp, and picture quality. The high picture quality. You still ain't gonna get that because you're just upscaling it from a low resolution, yeah? So what that means, even you upscale from 1080p to 4K, it is not good as the native 4K, I'm afraid. It's not good as that. Now let's go more further. So, you know, many of the games, the modern games, which will be running on Nintendo Switch 2, yeah, they'll be running in 1080p, not 4K. So majority of these games that Nintendo Switch 2 gonna release, they're making a fool out of you. They're saying it's a 4K system. Oh, you know what's gonna happen? Quite a lot of these games that you're gonna buy, they're gonna be in 1080p, not 4K. Alright? So understand that as well. I'm gonna talk about Nintendo Wii U at the end as well. What was happening with Nintendo Wii U as well. Let's get over and done with this first. Right, now this is very interesting. This is what Nintendo was talking about the 4K, how it's done. They were saying that so if you got 1080p, yeah, and you upscale to 4K, you have to use a thing called DLSS. Remember one thing, doing all this, you won't get no detail, no sharpness, no picture quality like the native 4K. Remember that as well. Even you can do all this, okay? I think, you know, even if you look at Nintendo Switch 2, it doesn't make sense both ways. Well, when we look at the portable screen, that's only 1080p, yeah? That's not even a 4K screen there. Now, if you got a 4K monitor, 4K television, whatever you got, you can't even get a native 4K out of it anyway, yeah? Not even on television, you ain't gonna get it. It's just a cheap way of releasing a console in 4K. They're getting entrusted that this 4K is amazing. They're doing that. They're doing all these kind of weird things. Okay. Let me get some more info out for you. So you ain't gonna get the picture quality from the original native 4K. Okay. Also, this is what is important, because this is the only thing it's gonna do. The DLSS, yeah, will give you high frame rates from a less powerful GPU. It will do all that. So what you're getting out of this 4K from this less powerful GPU, you're gonna get upscaling 1080p to 4K with high frame rates. So this is not a proper 4K at all, yeah? So from my understanding, yeah, majority of the games on Nintendo Switch 2 will run in 1080p, just like the portable screen. it will be some of the games that you will able to use the DLSS, yeah, for the high frame rates. And let's put it this other way. Some of the games you will upscale from 1080p to 4K using DLSS for high frame rates. It's gonna do things like that. I think it's not. I don't think it's exciting at all. You see these customers? They're just been watching Nintendo's videos. He's been talking about that the portable screen is 1080p and the TVI is 4K, but they don't even know what's the portable screen and the 4K TVI. You ain't getting a really good 4K, neither on the portable screen. You won't get it on that anyway, and neither on the TVI. Okay, it's not an impressive 4K. I'll tell you something. As I buy consoles and all that, I would never buy Nintendo Switch 2. It's not a thing that you should be buying really. It looks like just a basic system that Nintendo's trying to lure you into their traps. That this system can do 4K. I will stay well away from this console. I wouldn't buy. I don't know why people buy. Okay, they bought the recent ones in Nintendo Switch 2. Why do people buy Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X? It's going in the same boat. It's the same damn thing. There's nothing special about that consoles as well. All of these three consoles are all gimmicks. They are not very impressive for 4K. Okay? All of these three consoles cost too much money for what they are. Far too much. My advice will be staying away from all of these three consoles. If you're looking for a powerful 4K, powerful native 4K, things like that, get yourself a PC, a desktop PC, and you know what? You can run, if you're looking for a really good 4K with high frame rates as well. You can buy things like the 40 series cards, like things like RTX 4070, 4080, 4090. But if you want to go beyond that level, go for the 50 series cards. They are flipping impressive, man. PC is ahead of the consoles already anyway, because the consoles are only up to RTX 3060. That's nothing, I would say, because the PC has gone to flipping 50 series, man. It's gone far too high, man. You have to catch them. Okay. Now the 4K resolution is not native, so I don't really like upscaling. From 1080p to 4K. It's just a cheap way of doing something, really, isn't it? It's not impressive. Because the three things that I'll keep on mentioning to you again and again, because really, it's really a 1080p, really, isn't it? It's not really 4K, to be honest. It just makes a looks of a 4K, but it's not really like the real 4K as well. So understand that clearly. And then why wouldn't you get the detail, sharpness, and high picture quality? Think about that. Because it's doing it from a low resolution 1080p. That's what it is. That's why it wouldn't do that anyway. Okay. The only thing I can see in this is just a low resolution like 1080p is upscaling to 4K. That's one of the points. The second point is that when you use DLSS, it gives you just 5 frame rates. That's it, really. There's nothing else to it. Now, the final part. Okay. Now before all these consoles, this has happened before. This is the only time that Nintendo is doing it. You know, I think I'm very disappointed in Nintendo. The company is really weird, honestly. This has happened before. The Nintendo Wii U games console. What the heck was he doing with that? Keep on listening to this about Nintendo Wii U as well. You know, most of the games running on TV out was flipping 720p HD, man. What the heck is going on there? They weren't even 1080p. Then this company goes that the Nintendo Wii U is the first ever 1080p HD console. They said that, didn't they? And I can remember there was only one game natively which was in 1080p HD. One game, man! What? And rest of all the games coming from Nintendo were all 720p. Now tell me about it. And you know, all the third-party games as well, they were all 720p as well. Ridiculous, isn't it? None of them were 1080p. This is the same way was Nintendo Switch 2. So the Wii U was natively 720p. The Nintendo Switch 2 is natively 1080p, man. Yeah, it's 1080p. It's not 4K, really. Now this console Wii U we're talking about, yeah? Did upscaling from 720p to 1080p HD. Okay. So I'll show you that, what this Wii U is doing. Right, when we talk about 720p, yeah, on the Wii U as well, look, you have to go to the system settings. On the Wii U, you have to go to a thing called TV. You know, this company is ridiculous. They released this 1080p HD console, and why were the games hardly running on 1080p? You go to this option, look, called TV, look. Check that out. And you click on this TV thing. Then it goes, make sure your TV's on. It's on anyway, yeah. And then here you got these options. You go, so basically there's a TV connection type, should be HDMI. TV resolution should be 1080p. Look at that. Can you see what's going on? Look. So what you do in the TV resolution, you just click on it, and you get all of these resolutions. Look. You get all of these. And from here, now because you want to upscale it, you got 1080i and 1080p. So go for 1080p because it is progressive. You click on that. And what happens here? Now, from 720p, it will upscale to 1080p. Same way. Because this console is also on 720p, man. Originally. Natively, the Wii U is on 720p as well. Well, what the console itself is 1080p HD. Yeah, it is. But they released the games in 720p for some reason. Now, the screen you're looking at is upscaled to 1080p. Okay, take a look at that. But you know the Wii U, it was a different focus. It's different with this. Because Nintendo Wii U was more focused on the Nintendo games, really. It wasn't focused on anything else. The third-party games was an extra option as well, which you could buy them games. But really, when we look at the Nintendo Wii U, Nintendo wanted to release these games, like these discs, natively in 720p HD, but you can, with the system settings what I just showed you, you can upscale it to 1080p HD. That's how it was done on this console as well. So that's the same thing on Nintendo Switch 2, where natively is 1080p, but you upscale it to 4K. They haven't learned their mistakes, have they? It's just like the Wii U, man. Come on, it's just a thing like just like a Wii U. The Nintendo Switch console, I know it made a lot of sales, which is weird and stupid. The Nintendo Switch is not as good as Wii U. No, it's not. The games are flipping pathetic. They were just taking all the Wii U games. What kind of dumb console is that? Seriously. And they're going with the Nintendo Switch 2. I looked at this launch of Nintendo Switch 2. I thought it might be impressive. Flipping heck, all the damn games, all bloody old games on there. And they're telling us these are flipping 4K. What weirdos. And I really feel they have failed in one thing. I think they failed in that. They failed in, you know, the Nintendo Switch 1. Every person was saying that the Nintendo Switch will beat the DS and PS2. Well, did they? No, they didn't. They failed. The bloody Nintendo DS won again. And what was the point making all these sales? You know why that didn't happen? Because Nintendo companies are fools. Why did they release Nintendo Switch 2 on 5th June 2025? It's too quick. They should release the end of the year or something. They released it so quickly, man. If they kept it for another few months, they would have beaten the DS. They were close. That's crazy. They got 152 point something 12 million sales. And looking at Nintendo DS, it's only 154. And the other one, 155. It was just nearly there. They could have beaten it. Now what? Now you're going to go right back to the start. Well, I heard that this console just made 3 million sales, Nintendo Switch 2. How the flipping heck? They're going to get to bloody 154 million sales now, 155. It's going to take ages. They've lost the whole process to beating them. What a shame. Very disappointing. Very disappointed with that. They should have beaten it. And now, if they release the Nintendo Switch 2 later, they probably could have had more better launch games. All these, you know what? There were only 2 Philippine games which were original. Mario Kart World, I don't know if funny. Mario Kart World is not even good as Mario Kart 8 on Nintendo Wii U. It's not as good as that. I don't like the game. I don't like the look of the game. It looks horrible. The whole gameplay style, everything from point A to B, what they're doing, so just nonsense. Another one is Donkey Kong Bonanza. Oh, flip, yeah, the Donkey Kong looks like an idiot in it. Looks like a knob. I would flip it, never buy that piece of crap. Donkey Kong games, yeah. If you look at Donkey Kong games previously, there was Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Nintendo Wii, which was a flipping amazing game to the original Donkey Kong Country game, which was on Super Nintendo. Then we got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on Nintendo Wii U. That's a flipping epic game. What the heck is this? And the rest of all the flipping 32 games are all bloody old. Well, majority of them are old, and the games which are some of them are new, they look absolutely rubbish. Right. Yeah, as I said, the focus on Nintendo Wii U is different. It's more focused on Nintendo games. But the Nintendo Switch 2 is focused on both sides, isn't it? Nintendo and third-party games. I don't know how long this Nintendo Switch is gonna carry on for, because I think he's in trouble. He's in big trouble. Because I don't know how many people are gonna adapt a native 4K upscaling to 1080p upscaling to 4K. I don't know how many people are gonna consider that. It's working right now for a bit, but you know eventually it's gonna wear off people. It probably will. You know, there's one thing I didn't understand about the Nintendo Wii U. If the console's in 1080p HD, why weren't the games natively 1080p? That's a question, isn't it? Why did they not? Because I know what point you guys are gonna make. Performance, things like that. Then he should have made the hardware even more powerful than what it is. Because it seems to me there was something to do with the Wii U's hardware, and that's why they didn't went for native 1080p. But still, the console's in 1080p. Why would you make a console in 1080p if you can't even make native 1080p HD discs? What's the point of that? That's misleading the public. Because the public bought the Nintendo Wii U, whoever bought it, to play 1080p HD resolution graphical games. We didn't actually get that. Instead, we got 720p upscaling to 1080p HD. While it's good, but it's not good as the original native 1080p, is it really? You know what? Both of these consoles are weird. The Nintendo Wii U is not a native 1080p HD, and Nintendo Switch 2 is not natively 4K resolution either. They're both on the same boat. I think in terms of Nintendo Wii U, it's not that. It doesn't really matter much. Because 720p 1080p is kind of close, really, isn't it? The resolution is, well, I mean, 1280 times 720 is 720p HD, isn't it? And then 1920 times 1080 is 1080p HD. I mean, it is a higher number, but yeah, I understand the width and the height. But still, it's not higher than what Nintendo Switch 2 is doing. That's much worse, because you're talking about a native 1080p HD, which is 1920 times 1080, yeah? And then the other way, you're using this 4K resolution. That's far higher number, man. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy, man. And it's ridiculous. So yeah, this is what I wanted to explain to you guys. Now the choice is yours. Should you buy this thing or not? I mean, it's quite misleading, because I'm gonna tell you now finally what this console's actually doing. You're getting a native 4K probably out of it, but the problem is, now using that less resolution from 1080p, you need to upscale it to 4K. Then it's not proper 4K, really, is it? It's just doing it from a less resolution. That's what it's doing. And then also, you're missing all the 3 features that you get them in native 4K. That is detail, sharpness, high picture quality. So there's only 2 things you're getting out of this console. Think about this clearly. What you're paying for? You're paying like near enough £500 for this damn thing. It's bloody so expensive. You're only getting a 1080p upscaling to 4K resolution, and using DLSS, you're just getting high frame rates. Do you think it's worth it just doing just that? Because I think the time has come that every system should be native 4K now, from now on. Not upscaling stuff. We don't want all that rubbish. That's crap. Now look at the desktop, look at the laptops, look at the desktop PCs. They're using a native 4K resolution. You know, instead of this upscaling crap here, I'd rather keep a Nintendo Wii U, because we can also do 720p and upscale it to 1080p HD. 1080p HD quality is really good. I saw some of the games on this console. When you're upscaling it, it looks really, really good. In terms of 1080p, it's fine. But going up to 4K, it's just crazy and it's silly. The other thing about that is, when you're doing from the desktop, PC streaming to the Nintendo Wii U, you could play in any room, and near enough you can do 1080p HD gaming on there. I think I did make a video on it. A lot of people didn't even watch that video. I don't know why they didn't watch it. They should have watched it, because I think it's quite interesting. Because you know, all the games that you're getting from Nintendo Switch 2, PS5, Xbox Series X, you don't need to buy any of these consoles. Just get yourself a cheap Nintendo Wii U, probably unboxed. They just have an SD card. That's all you bloody need. You don't need anything else. Because you're streaming on desktop, the desktop's doing everything. All your games are getting installed into the desktop C drive. Do you know? You could even install them to the external USB hard drive as well on the desktop computer. So you can get them same games, and you could play them on your TV, just like them 3 consoles, man. Exactly the same thing, man. You can do that on this console. You won't need to spend a lot of money. You only need to spend very small amount of money on this Wii U console, and you can stream all the old and new PC games on there, and you can play them either on the Wii U gamepad and on the television at the same time, man. It's really, really good. You can do all that. Sometimes you can leave it on both screens if you want. It's entirely up to you. You can close one of the screens. There's a way of doing that as well. So if anybody's interested in that, how you do that, you can post me a comment on this video, on the Nintendo Switch 2 video we're making. So you can just do that. There's no point buying these 3 consoles. It's pointless, really. It's totally pointless. They're not 94K anyway. Why waste money on them when you can do near enough 1080p HD on the Nintendo Wii U and stream all of your favorite PC games onto Nintendo Wii U, and it works. The streaming works really, really well on Nintendo Wii U. And originally, I think Nintendo made the Wii U a good hardware for streaming services. Yeah, do you remember that? Yeah. So I'm going to be making a video on the streaming services. What we had before and what we got now on the Nintendo Wii U. So this console was a definite console in 1080p HD resolution and for streaming services, you know. So it's an epic console still. Still, Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't get the crown. No, it doesn't. All I will say is Nintendo Wii U is still the greatest games console of all time. It's just unbeatable. These 2 consoles couldn't touch that. So I doubt that Sony and Microsoft can't even touch Nintendo consoles anyway, because their games ain't good as Nintendo games anyway. But the Nintendo Switch 2 I think has failed miserably for me anyway. I don't know about you guys. I don't like the concept of 1080p. You know, upscaling to 4K. That's far too high. Upscaling to 4K. That's ridiculous. And you can't get them 3 features anyway. So it's very, very disappointing in my way. So now is the time to pick up a Nintendo Wii U. You could do so much things with this console. You know, you can do, cause like from Nintendo, you can, you know, you could do Google browsing, YouTube, exercise, singing, dancing, party, Wii, and Wii U games. See, you get all that out of it. It's quite a lot of stuff on there, you know. And then with the modding and hacking thing, you can do, you could do photo, music, video files. Okay. You can play DVD and MP3 discs. It's quite a lot going on this console, yeah. So, and also from the HB App Store, you can get free games. And also, if you got RetroArch, you can play a lot of emulators. Yeah. And then finally, you could do PC streaming. You could play old and new PC games from PC Steam, PC emulators, and bring up the entire desktop through the Wii U. And you could even do your work on this as well. Yeah, you can connect mouse and keyboards on your desktop computer, and using a mouse and keyboard, you can just use it like a PC. You can either do it on the Wii U gamepad, you can even use it on the television, and you can use a proper computer on this thing. Yeah, I'm not joking, I'm not kidding you, because I'm going to make a video on that. How you can use the mouse, keyboard, printers, and all sorts of things that you usually do with your computers. You can do that, all that stuff on your Nintendo Wii U, man. So there you go. So I wouldn't recommend the Nintendo Switch 2. It's not that great as you think. It's just a cheap way of doing a 4K resolution. It's not really worth the money. So I will stay well away from that. Just pick yourself up a Nintendo Wii U console. Do all the stuff from Nintendo and the hacking thing, and finally enjoy PC streaming on the Nintendo Wii U. So there you have it. Give your likes, comments, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.